What's going on, everybody? It's Amster X back with another chapter review, and today we have chapter 60 of War of the Adults. And I keep going back and forth with the series, it keeps going up and down. And I think a main problem of it is with there's no real formula because, as you can see in the bottom right picture, I put this down there for a reason that, OG and Yutaro love One Piece. And we're going the One Piece route at the end of this chapter. And but I don't know if it necessarily works for what this series is trying to accomplish, right? Because it's trying to talk about society currently today, right? While also trying to have some sort of staying power, right? Like the writer went on Twitter and was like, "I want the series to last," but like you're not writing it in a way for the series to last because you're just going all sorts of directions that don't really you know, put plant roots into the ground. And what I mean by that is, okay, you want Yutaro to be like a Luffy-esque character, but the thing is, though, Luffy's bound by the world, right? Where Luffy, at the end of the day, he knows he can't do certain things, right? Like that's why he didn't go to the Grand Line right away, right? And in a sense, that's kind of what's happening in this chapter. He's just like Yutaro's like, I'm just gonna go to the Grand Line. So it's like we've just spent 4 chapters talking about how we can't just go into the Grand Line and now we're just gonna go. So it's like you took inspiration from One Piece, but you didn't though. Like you're not really following a formula, and that's why I say the series is so hard to follow. But it's like I enjoy, and then I have chapters like last chapter where I have enjoyed moments of it. Like I enjoyed this chapter. Okay, so we get the backstory with Shinoda, and we see that the girl's real name is Mr. Onda, and it's just like okay, we're gonna just say girl with big forehead. I mean, because this forehead is massive. We're like, all right, but the thing with this character is, if you've read a lot of manga, I mean, right away, she's Jin from Bleach. The snake heavy type characters usually are always portrayed as they're going to be some betrayer, deceiver, but then they ultimately end up helping, the good characters. So, boom, we could see this right away, and it's evident by the panel where we see the backstory where she's talking to the father of the Iceman, and because I can't even remember his name. That's what I mean with the series. And we see that she needs to go undercover and just basically watch him and make sure that he doesn't any anti-garden movements don't get started while he gets out of his coma. So she goes undercover and she's just like, oh, I feel bad because other people are actually risking their life, and meanwhile I'm just like here. And we see in the next panel where she's undercover, and honestly this look right here is she's enjoying it. She the look at see the thing is, the look in the mirror is she's looking at herself, like, and you could take it as like, oh, I'm being fake and this is just what I have to do, or you could also take it as, wait, do I like who I'm becoming? Like, do I like this version of me? Like, is this a version I want to become? And then we see later that we see that the girl that she starts the turtle, the original founding Yutaro movement, the Turtle Club, I can't remember the full name, is actually anti-garden. And so we see here Shinobu, back when he was with the tabloid reporter, they show up and they try to get them to say, look, we're not your enemies at all, like we're actually on your side, we're trying to look in the garden's dark side. And then she's like, ooh, gotcha. And then Shinobu's like, dang. So, sure, Tori and I were marked even back then. From the very beginning, we played into your hands. And then we see why don't we make a deal? Like, duh, this was coming. Like I said, if you read manga, you knew this was coming. Got the heavy type character. She looks in the mirror, she sees it. But the issue, and that's what I mean, is that, okay, you have this like Luffy type character, so of course everybody's going to be drawn to you, so of course she's going to switch sides. But the issue is, like, then we get to the end of the chapter where she's just like, it was the only way I could think of to get to the resort. He said, sorry, it was the only way I could think of to get to the resort. So he's just going to show up. So he's just gonna offer himself up to go to the resort. So like so this is, and I think this is the problem with the series for me, is that we have this whole like OG's gonna go in, and we go and get these two girls from the club originally to go in, and then it's like, all right, we're getting this whole plan, we're building this all up, and then it's just like, okay, Yutaro's just gonna go in on his own, and it's just no rhyme or reason really. And like I said, and that goes back to the dialogue, where like the dialogue repeats a lot. I don't know how the series. I mean, I think the series is a staple enough to keep going, but I generally just don't know which direction it's going to go in, because if we're trying to go to the Luffy route, where the Luffy route is to become this character so good that everybody eventually just wants to be good, through you, right? And that's kind of like the main point of Luffy, is that he doesn't change, right? He just is. Um, and that's kind of like how the storyline works. But it's different though, because that's in that fictional world. We're supposed to be in the real world, where people are dying for this capitalist type of lifestyle, right? Where people are dying on these hills. And I feel like we really haven't seen that I guess that viciousness that I see, that we really see from the real world. Like, if you really want to portray the aspects of, okay, a surveillance state, that's cool, but are you not going to show like at the levels they really would go to keep the surveillance state in power? They're just, I don't know. I don't know. I feel like this series is stuck in a rock and a hard place. I feel like, or maybe I'm asking too much. Maybe I'm asking too much, and it just wants to be a funny series, and it wants to like lightly touch on things. And I don't know. Maybe I'm too harsh in my critique. But that's my War of the Adults Chapter 60 review. I don't know where the series is gonna go. We'll review it next week, and we'll be like, oh, okay. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Hamster X out.